I remember when we were first told that our son Aren had type 1 diabetes and basically that his pancreas wouldn't produce insulin anymore. The first thing that came to my mind was the story Michele had told me about her grandmother passing away in her early 30s because she'd been given the wrong dose of insulin.
I didn't get to know my grandmother Davis. I grew up hearing my mother talk about how she was 5 years old when my grandmother passed away because of type 1 diabetes. As I grew older, my mother explained how Grandma Davis was determined not to let this disease rule her life. But it was 1955 and there was no JDRF.
At this point, I was really worried.
My grandmother wasn't willing to let the disease dictate what she could do. Instead, my grandmother chose to embrace a full life. But that decision killed her when she went into a coma while traveling with her husband along a stretch of highway between Arkansas and Texas.
JDRF is the leading global organization focused on type 1 diabetes research. Driven by passionate grassroots volunteers connected to children, adolescents, and adults with this disease, JDRF is now the largest charitable supporter of type 1 diabetes research. Since its founding in 1970, JDRF has awarded more than $1.6 billion to diabetes research.
Today, because of the research and results that JDRF has achieved, our son can more easily overcome the hurdles that my grandmother couldn't.
I don't feel like I'm limited in what I can do. I'm able to check my blood glucose level because we now have meters, test strips, and other monitoring devices. And of course, I have a pump that gives me insulin, so I don't have to take shots every day.
The goal of JDRF research is to improve the lives of all people affected by type 1 diabetes in communities like Laredo by accelerating progress on the most promising opportunities for better treating, preventing, and curing type 1 diabetes. JDRF will not rest until type 1 diabetes is fully conquered.
I'm able to live a normal life with diabetes, and I know that JDRF has helped make this possible.
The money JDRF raises is critical to the development of new treatments and technology that will eventually lead to a cure. But I think it's very important for supporters to know that what JDRF does affects people every day in a very real way, providing them with new tools that they can use to help them have a better quality of life.
I'm lucky that I am able to keep my diabetes under control, and I will be able to live the full life that my great-grandmother wasn't able to. But there are hundreds of young people here in Laredo and across America who don't have that opportunity.
A cure would mean a full night's sleep without the worry that I might not wake up in the morning.
A cure for me would be an imagination without strings.
It means a newfound freedom without restrictions.
No more sleepless nights, worrying whether I'm going to wake up in the morning or not.
A cure would mean the end of a life sentence that was put upon me and my family's shoulders since the day that I was diagnosed.
A cure to me means I don't have to get no more finger pokes and insulin. I'm not to worry, checking my sugar, and I can eat when I want to eat.
By supporting JDRF, you can help those children and everyone with type 1 diabetes. Please give generously.